Hey guys, today we are finally going to be taking a look at the Rainmaker from Green Room 136, and this is a really solid 22-liter everyday carry bag that can also work for minimal travel. And I've gotten a ton of requests for this on the channel, and I can definitely see why. The bag has been fantastic to use, it's really comfortable to wear, it has a great build quality, some really nice organizational options. I love the aesthetic, but the coolest thing about this bag is the ability that you have to customize so many different parts of it. So it really feels like a bag that's made specifically for you, and it's just cool to kind of feel like part of the design and build process. So really excited to talk through all that with you guys, and I want to thank the company for sending the bag for me to test out. With all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. And so before jumping into the bag, the first thing that I want to talk about is the customization process as a whole. So on Green Room's site, there's an area where you can pick a base model to start from, and then you're thrown right into the customization options. And at first, it seemed a little bit kind of intimidating with all the different choices that you had, but once I started to take a look and you see all the illustrations that they provide, it's actually a really simple process to kind of start picking all the different things that you want to add to your bag. And so one of the most interesting parts was just seeing some of the challenges that designers normally have to go through when making a bag. So I'll be calling out the specific things that I customized in the different areas of the bag as we go through the video, but there were some specific areas where it was fun to kind of have to decide whether I wanted something like water bottle pockets or a clamshell style bag. So just really fun process, very interesting to see, and it was great to kind of feel like I was personalizing the bag just for my particular needs. And so starting off with the overall aesthetic, I was always a big fan of kind of the base style of the Rainmaker. This is definitely the style of bag that I like. It's very kind of minimal, it has a simple look, and it almost looked very kind of utilitarian, very much like a tactical style bag. And so starting off on the outside, there were a lot of different customization options that you could make here as far as the colors. There's different panels, so you can kind of customize the colors either horizontally or vertically. You can pick different color for different sections of the bag. As you can see here, I chose to be a little bit more conservative and just kind of go with an all black just because I like the simpler aesthetic of this bag. It definitely feels with this style like it's going to fit into a variety of environments, whether I want to take this into the office or walk around the city. But if you're a little bit more creative and you want to add some more flair to your bag, there's going to be tons of options and colors that you can actually pick from. And so continuing on with the materials, the bag has a really great build quality. On the outside, it has a 1000D Cordura fabric that feels like it's going to hold up well over the longer term. This also seems to offer a nice amount of weather resistance. On top of that, the bag also has really nice YKK zippers all throughout. An upgrade on this bag from the original versions of the Rainmaker is that they actually have some weather resistant zippers by default on the bag. In the past, you had to add rain flaps to add that additional protection. I actually chose to add rain flaps as a separate customization option myself just because I like the look that it kind of gives the bag, and I also just like having that additional extra protection on some of the main areas of the bag. Moving up to the sides and top of the bag, you start to get into a lot of different customizational options here. And so starting off at the top, you just have a simple handle. This has a very thin seatbelt-like material, and you can actually add some padding to this that you can remove. I chose to leave that off just to give the bag a cleaner look. To me, this handle is good enough. It's a little bit thin, so it starts to dig into my hands when I hold the bag from here for a longer period of time, but for just kind of putting it off my back and putting it on the ground, it's been fine and it feels really durable. And then you can actually choose to add several handles along the sides of the bag depending on what other options you want to pick. So I chose to just have this one at the top because I wanted to add 2 water bottle pockets. So on this version of the bag, you have 2 side water bottle pockets which have a nice amount of space. Currently what I have in here is the same water bottle that you've seen in all my other daily bag videos, and that fits in there really nicely. The compartments don't necessarily have a lot of elasticity, but they do have plenty of volume that also doesn't take up that much space from the main area. So I really like the implementation here. They're also pretty deep, so if you have something a little bit taller like a tripod, it should be able to fit in here okay. And then if you just wanted to add 1 water bottle pocket, you could actually add a handle to the other side if you wanted to carry this more like a briefcase, or if you don't want any water bottle pockets, you could add 2 handles. So a lot of different options for how you can configure this. And then on the outside, you also have 4 compression straps to help slim the bag down when it's not as fully packed out, or to just attach some additional gear. And so the default version of the straps don't have these magnetic fidlock buckles. This was one of the upgrades that I chose to do, as I really just like how well these work. They snap into place very quickly. And one of the interesting things about this, and I saw that Chase Reeves called this out in his review, is that the orientation of the buckles is different on each side. So you have to move it down here to open the buckles up, whereas on the other side, you have to slide up. So just a little nitpick there. They still work well, but it would have been nice to just have that be a little bit more consistent. And so jumping into the capacity, the bag comes in at about 22 liters. There are two versions of the bag. There's a larger one that comes in at 27 liters, but to me, 22 liters is just a really great daily bag size. I was easily able to fit all the items that I normally like to carry with me, and I really like that it managed to maintain a pretty slim silhouette and hug my bag pretty closely to make it good for walking around crowded areas or jumping onto public transit. One thing that I did notice about the 22-liter version of the bag is that it's a little bit short and it looks kind of blocky. So if you're a taller person, I would recommend maybe going with the 27 liters. I almost wish that for my height, I had gone with the taller version of the bag as well. I still like how it looks for the most part, but just something to keep in mind if you're above 6 feet. And then continuing on with the straps and the back paneling, the bag has been very comfortable to wear. I really like how the straps have been implemented here. They're fairly thick, they have a nice amount of padding. On the inside, they have this mesh material to help prevent moisture from building up. And then they also have a really nice width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's packed out with a lot of weight. I've heard a few people mention that the straps feel a little bit thin, and I can kind of see that, but so far, just due to the size of the bag, it really hasn't bothered me. I haven't felt my shoulders become fatigued, and it's just been really comfortable. On top of that, you also have these straps at the top, these load lifters that allow you to configure how it sits on your back just a little bit more. On the straps, you also have an adjustable and removable sternum strap, and when you upgrade the side compression straps to the magnetic buckles, you also get a magnetic buckle here on the sternum strap, and this works pretty well. It's fairly quick to get this on and off. I really like the implementation here. This does feel a little bit bigger than other sternum straps that I've used in the past, and there's also an awful lot of strap left over here, so it can tend to look a little bit messy. Green Room does, however, sell some bands that will help tidy this up a little bit more if you prefer a neater look. Another customization option that they offered here was the ability to add some buckles to the straps if you want to be able to release them a little bit more quickly or just secure your bag to maybe a chair or a table when you're sitting down. I chose to leave that off as it's not something that I normally use. I just prefer to have the kind of more traditional straps here, but it's still nice to just have that additional customization option. And then moving into the back paneling, this has also been really comfortable. I really like how much padding is offered here. It has the same mesh material that we saw on the straps to help prevent moisture from building up. You also have a little bit of elevation here to create these air channels to help with airflow throughout the day. I do wish that the padding was maybe just a little bit more elevated to help keep your back from getting as sweaty, but still just really comfortable to wear here. One of the options that I chose to use here for customization was adding this luggage pass-through here. It has a Velcro strap that kind of secures it to the back. And this works really well for resting this on my luggage when I'm traveling with two suitcases and I just want to save some weight on my back. I did notice that if you choose to not use the luggage pass-through, your back paneling may look a little bit different, so it might come with some additional elevation, but to me, it was a fair trade-off to just have the additional versatility of the luggage pass-through. The last thing I'll mention while we're on the back paneling is that you have the option to add the secret compartment here. This is one of the customization options as well, and I really like having this kind of secret area. The size of this compartment is really interesting. Normally these compartments that rest on your back are normally just small enough to hold maybe a passport or a wallet, so I really like that you have some additional space here. I still wouldn't put anything too large or bulky just to prevent anything from poking into my back. So at the moment I just have my Field Notes notebook to just kind of showcase the size, but definitely plenty of space if you have some sensitive documents that you want to place in here, a thinner wallet, some cash. Just really nice to have this additional place to add some security to the bag. And then moving into the organizational options, I really love the layout here. By default, the bag already comes with a ton of awesome pockets that are really useful and very intelligently laid out, but you also have some great customization options. So first up on the front, I chose to add this quick access pocket here that doesn't come with the bag by default. And this goes from about here to here. And it's just really nice to have this simple quick access area so you can just reach down and just add a little bit more separation with the other areas of the bag. It's just a little bit of a shallower compartment that's very easy to get to throughout the day. Plenty of space. Currently what I have in here is just my Ray-Ban sunglasses with their case, so I was happy to see that it does have some volume. It doesn't go too deep, and so I just really love the ability that they offer to add this extra bit of organization to the front. Next up, at the top, I chose to add another smaller quick access area. Again, this one doesn't come with the bag by default. This is an additional option, but I really liked just having another smaller area that was going to be very easy to get to. And so what I currently have in here is just my Apple AirPods Pro, and then I also have a lightning cable to charge my phone. And so a nice amount of space here. I can't quite fit my hand, so it doesn't go super deep. It's just a nice simple area. And then what I really like is on the inside, it has this soft kind of corduroy lining to add just a little bit of additional protection for anything more sensitive that you want to store in here. Moving back to the front of the bag, you have another larger quick access area. This is covered by the rain flap. Again, this is something that I chose to add. This doesn't come with the bag by default, but you do get this awesome zipper here. And so opening this up, plenty of space in this compartment. This is really deep. It actually goes all the way down to the bottom of the bag. So it's gonna be great for storing some larger pouches and accessories. And so jumping in, the first thing that I have is just my Bellroy Classic pouch, which has some of my smaller tech accessories, and that fits in there really comfortably just due to all the volume that you have here. I really love that this would also be a great spot to store maybe your DOP kit while you're trying to travel with this, or maybe a flatter pair of shoes. And then on the inside, you have a nice amount of simple organizational options. So on the left, you just have a larger slip pocket. I really like the volume that these slip pockets have. They're gonna be good for something a little bit bulkier. And so what I currently have in here is just a USB and USB-C hub that I use to charge my MacBook and my other devices while I'm on the go. And then next to that, you have a similarly sized slip pocket, and the only thing that I currently have in there at the moment is the cable that goes with that USB hub. And then all the way on the right, you have a slightly smaller slip pocket here, which is gonna be great for maybe something like a flashlight or a multi-tool. What I currently have here is my Gerber dime, and that fits in there pretty comfortably. The compartment is fairly deep, so what I did was actually clip this to this D-ring that's provided here in the compartment, which is gonna be a great spot for any keys or items that you want to attach with a carabiner or something like that. So just really like the overall layout and space provided here. If you wanted to change this up a little bit, Green Room does offer an option where it's a little bit more of a circular zipper that comes all the way around that allows you to kind of open it flatter so you can get more visibility into the lower area of the bag. But for me, this layout just worked a little bit better for my particular packing style. The next area that we're gonna take a look at is what I would call kind of the main storage area of the bag. And so as I was customizing this was the toughest choice for me, was whether to make this a clamshell style bag or not. And so if you want to add water bottle pockets to the bag, you can't actually get a full clamshell style opening. And you guys know that I really love clamshell style bags, but ultimately I ended up going with the water bottle pockets because I really like having that bit of extra organization on the outside. I think they add a nice amount of versatility. And then I noticed that the zippers still come down a pretty decent amount. So while it's not full clamshell style, I can actually see into the main area really well. And it still offers a nice layout for storing some bulkier items, which is what I really like with clamshell style bags. So kind of felt like the best of both worlds, but it's nice that you do have the option to pick which one works better for you. And so plenty of space offered here in this 22-liter bag. I was really impressed with how easily I was able to fit everything. And so jumping in, the first thing that I have here is just a bomber jacket from Imperial Motion that I like to carry with me when it seems like it's gonna rain. And then next up, I just have a simple EDC pouch from Maxpedition that I use to store some of the smaller things that I like to carry with me. And then I also have my Levitate portable standing desk, which fits in there very comfortably. And this has actually been a really useful accessory for working from home. So if you're looking for a simple standing desk solution, I definitely recommend you check this out. On the back of the compartment, you have a simple sleeve that's gonna offer just some extra organization for anything flatter that you wanna store. So the only thing that I currently have in here is just a full-size Moleskine notebook, but this might be a good spot to store something like a tablet or maybe a folder. There's not a whole lot of padding here, so it really just is a sleeve, but still like the separation that this adds and that it just slides flat against the compartment if I don't wanna use it. And then moving up along the back of the bag, you have a few rows of MOLLE webbing. I really love that this was included on the inside of the bag, as you can attach things with carabiners if you have some multi-tools, a flashlight, and there's also a variety of MOLLE patches that would attach well here if you want to add some additional organization to this main area. Now that we're looking at this MOLLE webbing, I forgot to mention earlier that you also have the option to add webbing to the front of the bag if you prefer a more tactical aesthetic. For me personally, I like the minimalist look that this has, but if you prefer to have a little bit more versatility and the ability to attach pouches to the outside, you do have that option. And so now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. I really like how much this comes up, plenty of volume, and then this wide opening makes it very easy to just pack the bag out. And so I was curious to see how this would work for minimal travel, and I found that it had plenty of space for my compressible packing cube. I can just throw that in there, and then I still have some leftover space at the top, so if I wanted to toss in something like my Air DOP kit, that would fit in there comfortably, and I'd still have some leftover room for maybe a flatter pair of shoes or another pouch on the front of the bag. So just a really impressive amount of space, even for such a slim and small bag. So it just works really great for daily carry, but if you're also looking to use it for a weekend trip or even a little bit longer, depending on how minimally you pack. The last thing that I'll mention in this main area is you have 2 additional mesh zippered areas on the flap, which add some extra organizational options. I really like the implementation here. A nice high quality mesh, plenty of space in these compartments. So in this top area here, I just have some cables and chargers that I like to carry with me. This is my wireless charger that I like to set out when I'm sitting somewhere for a longer period of time. And then I also have another lightning cable that also charges my iPad. And then on the bottom, you have another mesh zippered area. This one is slightly smaller. It's a little bit hard to clearly see it because the bag doesn't open flat, but still nice to just have this extra organizational area. It still has a nice amount of space. Currently, the only thing that I have in here is my BluePop portable Bluetooth speaker and power banks. So just really love the amount of space and organizational options provided in this main area. Really well thought out layout, and just one of my favorite kind of main areas that I've seen of any of the EDC bags that I've looked at recently. And then the last area that we're going to take a look at is the laptop and tech compartment. And so this opens up completely flat so that you can easily see everything that's in the compartment. This is also meant to be kind of a TSA approved lay flat compartment. This normally doesn't really work that well for me. I haven't had much luck, so I would normally just take my laptop out and place it into a bin, but still nice that you have the option if you prefer to open this style of compartment flat. And then moving into the laptop sleeve, I really like the implementation here. It offers a nice amount of protection. It's actually suspended off the bottom of the ground, as you can see here, and then it has this flap to help keep the device in place when it's opened up. So pulling this up, plenty of space in this laptop compartment. It comes up a decent amount if you have a thicker device. The 22-liter version of the bag is meant to hold up to a 13-inch laptop. As you can see with the 13-inch MacBook Pro that I have here, there's not a whole lot of leftover space. You might be able to squeeze in a 15-inch laptop, but it would be really tight against the top. So for that, I would definitely recommend getting the 27-liter version of the bag. But with that being said, the compartment itself has a nice amount of padding. This is pretty thick here, and then on the inside on both sides, it has this soft corduroy lining that we saw earlier in the bag to help prevent against scratching. So really like the use of this material here, and then it's very easy to get my laptop out. Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. In addition to the compartment being suspended, I like that it's pulled away from the sides of the bag, so if you happen to drop it on its side or on its bottom, your device should be well protected. So just a really nice implementation here overall. And then moving on to the other side of this compartment, you have some simple organizational options here as well. First up, you have this larger slip pocket here, which is going to be a great spot to store maybe something like a tablet or a smaller folder or a notebook. Currently what I have here is just my iPad mini, and that fits in there very easily. Unfortunately, this compartment doesn't have much padding or fleece lining or anything like that, so it would have been nice to just have a more dedicated tablet area, but still like that this offers at least some separation in this compartment. And then moving up to the top, you just have some simple slip pockets that are going to be great for some of those smaller kind of tech accessories that you might need to carry with you. So in this one on the right, I currently have my Apple Magic Mouse, and I really like the amount of volume and space that this offers. And then next to that, you have a few small slots to hold something like a stylus or a pen, which is what I currently have here. And then I also just have a simple nail clipper. And then all the way on the right, you have an additional slip pocket similar in size to the one that we saw here. And what I currently have here is just a simple deck of cards that I like to carry with me, especially when I'm traveling. So just really like the simplicity of the layout here, but it's very effective, very easy to use. There's plenty of space for using all of these and having everything not feel very packed out, especially in this tech area. So just a really nice layout here and throughout the rest of the bag. I was really impressed with everything that's offered, with the aesthetic, with the build quality. And if you're looking for a versatile and comfortable bag that's gonna work well in pretty much any environment, this is gonna be a fantastic option to check out. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the Rainmaker over the past couple of weeks. It's been really comfortable to wear. It has a great build quality. I really love the organizational layout and the aesthetic, and the process of customizing the bag was just a really unique and awesome experience. And so you can currently purchase this on Green Room's site for about $120. Depending on when you're watching this video, the conversion rates between this and the Malaysian currency may change a little bit. But even starting at that price point, it's a really fantastic value considering the features and build quality that it offers. If you want to purchase the larger version of the bag, it starts at a little bit of a higher price point, and then depending on the customization options that you add, the price may start to go up incrementally, but I do think that this compares very well to other bags in this price range. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag that this made me think of was the Recycled Firefighter 24-Hour Backpack, which is one of my favorite minimalist EDC backpacks. It just has a really solid build quality. It's very comfortable to wear. It has a much simpler layout to this, just a full clamshell style opening that offers plenty of space. And I've used that bag for a long time and it's held up very well. That one comes in at around $160, so a pretty similar range depending on the customization options that you add to this. And if you're looking for something with a similar aesthetic that's going to have a simpler layout, that's going to be a great option to check out. Another bag this made me think of was the Air Daypak 2, which we looked at really recently, and that's a really solid, just minimalist EDC and tech backpack. It has a great organizational layout, it's very comfortable, it has tons of great weather resistance, and it's just gonna have a simpler and more minimalistic look. So if you're looking for something that's gonna maybe work a little bit better for an office environment, that's gonna be a great option to check out. The next bag this made me think of is the Wander Duo Daypak, which is a really great camera and tech bag. It has a solid build quality, some great weather resistance. It has a very sleek and slim look. I really like the full access zipper that it has to make it easy to get into the bag from pretty much any direction. And that one is going to come in at a slightly higher price point, but if you need to carry some camera gear with you and you want to be able to access it quickly, that's going to be a great option to check out. And then the last option that I'll mention here, if you have a little bit of a higher budget, is the GoRuck GR1, which is still one of my favorite EDC backpacks. It has a fantastic build quality, a very minimal but still tactical style. I really like the MOLLE webbing that it has on the front and on the inside to allow you to configure it with a variety of pouches. And so I've just used that bag a ton over the past couple of years. It's held up really well, it's very comfortable, and if you're looking for just a really minimal bag that's gonna be with you for many years to come, that's gonna be one of the best options to check out. With that being said, the Rainmaker holds up really well against all those bags, and if you're looking for a solid EDC backpack that you're going to be able to use for minimal travel and that's going to offer plenty of organizational areas and a great customization process, that's going to be one of the best options to check out. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you guys think of the Rainmaker and the choices that I made for my bag. Do you think this is a bag that you would like with all the features that I included, or would you have done it a little bit differently? Definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and if there are any similar bags that you think I should feature on the channel. And I want to thank the company again for sending the bag for me to test out. And if you guys found this video useful, please give us a like. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And thank you guys so much.